Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, it is a dirty chai type of morning. Like filthy. All right, I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this video, no pun anything. You're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul, from your soul, from your soul. From your soul, from your soul, from your soul, from your soul. So, guys, first and foremost, can we do this thing? Can we do this thing really quick? Let us go ahead and hold people accountable for their behaviors, okay? I don't typically open my Facebook Messenger. I went and opened my Facebook because I use that mirror when I cleanse my face before I live stream, right? And accidentally, on purpose, I suppose, Messenger opened when I opened Facebook. And Platel David, I posted it publicly, a screenshot of his message to me. Hey, if you don't want people knowing the way you behave privately, don't come at me with your small dick energy, sir. I don't give a shit if you're French. Yeah. I'm the kind of girl that's not attracted to French men. Try Russian. Brusky. Stop with your shit, okay? I didn't block you yet so that people on your profile can fucking see the way you behave towards women who don't answer your messages. Tagged and all. Up to you if you want to block me. I don't got energy for you. Anyways, we're doing a Pisces reading. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those, again, who find themselves on this channel, this video, not knowing why, because you're not dealing with a Pisces, you're not a Piscean, you're probably not empath, and you're probably really needing messages from your soul. You're probably really needing clarity. With that, I had asked what this reading was going to be about, and I was told, seeing where you stand with them. So whoever it is that you're thinking about, it got me hot. It got me hot. It's got me real super hot. Okay. Let's pull some cards. Let's pull some cards. I don't know if this is someone that you are like romantically drawn to. I don't know if this is someone who maybe maybe I don't know. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and stick with someone you're romantically drawn. I'm done with toxic male. Whoever that toxic male is, that the one that like hates you and wants you to suffer and wants to see you fail and all of that ugly shit. Yeah, it's just saying that's like small D energy, Or if you're dealing with a female, that's stink pee energy. I'm just saying those are the types of energies you just got to steer clear of. You really, really have to steer clear of people who are incapable or unwilling to behave in a dignified manner. We don't have to give everyone attention. I know people think that Pisceans and empaths need to give everyone attention. They're like, entitled to your understanding and your time. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. I carry this all the way through my life. Like literally all the way through my life. It's not just in one sector. It's not just privately. It's like the whole shebang. Shebang, shebang. La, 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 la. Shebang, shebang. Okay, so carry it all the way through. just all the way through. So we're going to be seeing where we stand with whoever this is. Someone feels frustrated today. Someone feels frustrated. I know it's not me. I don't know if you guys have been doing this like feeling other people's emotions, their frustrations, thoughts, all sorts of stuff. Just feeling it to the utmost degree. So let's face that up. Let's get a couple from here. Ooh, someone's the intrigue. The intrigue. Concealment. Cloak. Concealment. Okay. This is going to be good. This is going to be real good. Okay. Ooh, wee. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Someone's about to get found out. I'm assuming. I just got all excited. I got no drama in my life, so I get all excited when the cards are all dramatic. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not. I'm not celebrating what these cards are saying. It's kind of like intrigue. Oh, oh me. Oh my. Got damn. Okay, I knew it. I knew it. Oh, I think I should take some CBD. I feel like I should take some CBD really quick. Girl. I got excited too quick. So cloak, concealment. I was over here feeling like, oh my God, someone has been like covetous. They've been coveting you. They've been watching you and watching you and watching you and watching you some more. And and it's like, go ahead, keep watching. Who cares? Right? Except someone does care, not on your end, on theirs. Someone cares on their end, and they've been trying to hide whatever it is they're doing. I don't know. What are they doing? Are you in contact with this person, or is this someone that's just like quietly watching you from the background? You're over here looking like they're mermaid. They are so enchanted by you. Just so enchanted by you. But I feel like they haven't taken any steps to communicate with you. They haven't listen, Pisces and empaths, we not bottom barrel, okay? People need to put some effort if they're trying to communicate with you. If they want like some sort of connectivity with you, we are not bottom of the barrel. They need to put some effort into that. They can't just like hope and pray that you feel them pining away for you. And yeah, no, this is stupid. This is just stupid. This is high school shit. And unless you're still in high school, this shit should not apply to you in your life. It really shouldn't. It shouldn't be something that you tolerate. It should not be something that you tolerate. You want an adult relationship with someone, being adult, be part of being an adult is communication, effective communication. See, secret. Concealment and secret. They're hiding it from themselves. Why they keep watching you, first off. Secondly, they are just like focused. Focused, to say the least. I mean, I think a more fair assessment would be fixated. Obsessed. I don't know why I need to tell you guys this. You know, mermaids are supposedly like sirens. You know, people are like, oh, I'm a siren. They're murderers. They kill men. They kill sailors. You know what I'm saying? They kill sailors. So I don't know. I don't, maybe it's time for you to have a little siren action. No, 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 no. That's not. I was gonna say be a siren for their heart. That's not nice. No, 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 no. Don't hurt their heart. I don't know. This is irritating though. This is irritating because these two things tell me like, why do you need to hide things? Because you're probably in a relationship. They're probably in a relationship and now they're needing to hide from their significant other that they're still watching you. Ooh, so that tells me the person already knows. Oh, the intrigue, the intrigue. Oh my God. How y'all always get in this kind of predicament? What is this? Like, this is beyond Piscean messy. Just, this is beyond. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. Anytime someone is in a relationship, they're gone. That's it. They went into the wardrobe. They're now in Narnia, untouchable. Don't even consider it. Okay, they're in Narnia. They're in Narnia. They went through the fucking wardrobe, and they're in Narnia. Okay, that's it. That's, you just got to see it like that. If they try and contact you and stuff, and they're with another person, like, I'm sorry, sir, can you please re-enter the wardrobe and go back to Narnia? There, you let them go back to Narnia, okay? Narnia. They're no. Leave that alone. If they're willing to do that to someone who they're with, they will do that to you eventually. That's an amazing general rule of thumb. If they can do it with you, they eventually will do it to you. General rule of thumb. And if you're thinking like you badass because you took him, like, honey, that's a stray. There's nothing badass about adopting a stray. That's going to run away from you eventually too. You know what I mean? Amen. 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 Unavailability equals unavailability. Hello. Hello. If they couldn't commit themselves to the person that they're with and they don't have the maturity, the respect to let the person who they are with know, like, hey, you know what? It's really not working for me. I'm not fully present anymore. What makes you think you are so damn special that they're not going to have that with you? That thing of like, I'm just really not feeling it. Let me look for other things while I keep you here thinking I'm investing in you. Uh-uh. I'm obviously not single and haven't been for a very long time, but I've never been someone to be like, the moment it's made known that you're in a relationship, you're no longer attractive. Fuck out of here. Go back to your person. No, stray. No, I'm not going to take you home. I'm not going to feed you. I'm not going to take you home. No. Pop culture, different musical cultures, they have tried to really, really glorify this thing of lack of self-respect. Now, I'm not talking about someone who has made a conscious decision to be promiscuous. That's your choice. We need to take the stigma out of that word. That's your choice if you want to explore your sexuality, if you want to have multiple people to help you explore that. You're an adult. You can decide things for yourself. I'm talking about people who are in a committed relationship that they are not committed to, and they're trying to invite you into their mess. Yeah. No. Find someone else who's equally as available and single as you. Okay? They're obsessed. They're obsessed. I mean, look at her face. She's just like, she's over it. That looks like a phallic symbol in the background. This is really like Little Mermaid type stuff. Okay. Oh, see what I'm saying? Like he's about to crash his ship into your shore. Oh, that's even worse. Oh my God, you're a deep diver. And this person's trying to use a sailboat to reach you. Sailboats cannot dive deep. Nuh-uh. They can't even go fast. They're contingent on the wind, meaning spoken word. They're full of air. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. That's so not worth your time. Oh, that's so not worth. But if you feel like that's worth your time, that's your choice. That's your choice. That's your choice. If you don't have standards, you know, you just won't have someone who is at least some bottom level type of good for you. And if you think like, well, no, when I have standards, I'm all alone. Well, that's because you're waiting for the right thing. You are cultivating yourself and you are waiting for a quality person to share your time with. What happened to that? Whatever happened to waiting for a quality person to spend your time with? Are we really like so averse to ourselves that we just cannot be alone? Is that what it is? And I'm wondering if maybe I never had someone treat me very, very poorly in a romantic relationship that's developing, because really I don't need you like that. I'm not scared to be alone. I'm not going to sweat you for your time. I'm not going to be texting you, asking you where you are. If you're not here with me, you off doing your thing. If what you're doing is disrespectful to me, if I feel that, and I feel everything, really, I don't have time for you. I don't. And, I'm not going to apologize for being the typical, female that would wait and wait and wait and hope, just hope that you'll spend time with me today. No, I like spending time by myself. I like spending time by myself. I like cultivating myself. I love learning. I love poetry. I love books. I love going to the park by myself. Well, not no more. That's been long gone. But way back when I was still single, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, you want to be like, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm busy today. Oh, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to go to the park and read poetry. Oh, you have like a group? No, I don't do group shit. Just me by myself with a book in the grass under a tree. Oh, you want me to come? Not really. No, I can't talk to you and read poetry and really savor the poetry if you're talking to me or staring at me. Like, I don't like that. I like to do things by myself. And when people recognize that you do like yourself, you're not desperate for attention, they then begin to understand, like, ooh, when she does give me the time of day, I better, like, actually, like, if they like you, they're going to be like, oh, I better actually make myself available, because it's not very often that she has time like this to spend with other people. It's okay to be very engrossed in your career, to be very engrossed in your love of self that drew you back home to you. You don't have to live your life in accordance with what society tells you is acceptable for women and for men. For women and for men. You can be a badass man and be completely single and have standards. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being a celibate bachelor. There's really nothing wrong with that. See, men have these different standards that are just equally as toxic for their growth. They're not allowed to be celibate. They're not allowed to be sensitive. They're not allowed to be in touch with who they are and all of these different things that they need to explore, because, oh my God, no. Men, a person worthy of your time will totally love this about you, will love that you are seeking yourself. You're seeking depth. You're seeking something that maybe you don't know what it is yet. And you're not afraid to be alone. You're not afraid to be celibate. I mean, I'm not telling you to be celibate. I'm saying it's not any dink on your manhood if you are. It actually takes tremendous amounts of self-control, tremendous amount of internal power to not continue to spill your seed for any old chicken head that walks around the block. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you want a partner of an elevated caliber, you're going to need to elevate yourself. And one of the best ways to elevate yourself is to save your energy for your rise. If you're continuously, I mean, really, what kind of substance do you share? Are you someone of substance? Because unfortunately, and it's just easier for me to make an example of heterosexual relationships. Obviously, there's so many different types of encounters and partnerships that exist, all equally valid. But in a heterosexual relationship, it's like if you can't see that all this woman wants is to harvest more of your seed, I mean, is this a succubus? Are you being tasked to perform? Like, have standards. Really, really have standards. Someone who can't respect what your standards are, don't get that twisted. Don't think that is because she really, really, no. Women have now been programmed to believe that, they have to behave like men. And what I mean by men is that toxic patriarchy. They're in competition with you to see who can be the grimiest, who can be the most promiscuous, who can be the badass, who can be the F-boy, F-girl. Like, all you want in life. Lack of substance. Is that all you want? Because if you're seeking like a lifelong partnership, taking several months to actually get to know each other and deciding, like, do I want to spend time with you today? Are you capable of respecting what I decide for myself today? That's huge. That is huge. It's huge. And I'm not trying to tell people like how to live their romantic side of their life. I'm saying start developing standards for yourself. And no one gets to tell you what those standards should be. Make decisions for yourself that are healthy for you, that will help you to see the truth of what this connection is. And if all you're interested in right now is a physical connection, then be honest with that. That's all you're interested in. But just know, if that's what you enter into some partnership with someone, that's all you want, and they enter into that with you because that's all they want too, and you happen to develop feelings, someone's feelings are going to get hurt. Someone's feelings are going to get hurt. I never participated in that friends with benefits thing. Like, really? One of y'all is going to get your feelings hurt. Why? Because anytime there is a physical pairing, that doesn't mean their emotional maturity is at the same level. One of them typically uses physical intimacy as a way to emotionally bond. Whichever one does that, they're going to get their feelings hurt. That's not a friend with benefit. That's someone who's willing to compromise their expectations, that you're making them aware of what the expectation is. They're willing to compromise that in the hopes that they can convince you to reciprocate. Don't connect with someone in the hopes that they'll reciprocate. Just don't. Don't connect with someone in the hopes that they will reciprocate. Like, just be very upfront. Be very, very upfront. So when I met my husband, I knew I was moving several hours away, and I'm just like, well, I'm moving. I'm moving in like a month or two. So we could hang out while I'm still here, but I'm moving. And this man from the start, he's like, no one else can love you like me. like, who said? What the fuck you know that you're making these statements? He was very upfront from the start. Like, nope, he's actually investing in this. He is committed to developing something. He's committed. And I was upfront, like, well, I'm moving. You're not going to convince me not to move. I'm moving. I'm literally moving. And unless you're okay with that, you probably shouldn't hang out with me. Because that was everything was upfront. We were able to both allow ourselves to shift within the way we perceived that hanging out. Mm-hmm. Yep. And he was able to see all of the different dynamics within me that create trauma responses. I didn't hide none of that. Nor did he hide. He was like, we're going to get married. No, we're not. You're crazy. Why the hell would I marry you? I barely know you. I'm like 19 or 20. Like, what? I'm not marrying nobody. Apparently, he was committed to that coming to fruition and being very like upfront with it. Like, no, like we're going to get married. According to who? Who's marrying you? It's not me. I'm a child. I am a child right now. Yeah, no, I still distinctly remember I had only known him for a couple months. And he was hanging out with me at my new place, like 3 hours away from where he lives, one way, 6 hours round trip. And it was the weekend, and I think I happened to be off that day. And I was like, what do you want to do? And he's like, let's go drive to Tahoe. I'm like, not 21. What are we going to do in Tahoe? He's like, let's get married. No, what's wrong with you? I'm not marrying you. You're crazy. He was like, yeah, you are. So, yeah, being upfront with what your expectation is. Because if not, if you're just going to play along, you're really seriously going to get your feelings hurt. You are. If you think you can play with people who don't feel in that way at that depth, you will get your feelings hurt. So, feminine. They are just that cloak and book of shadows and secret and concealment. They just see you in that way, like you're like the epitome of what they're looking for. I mean, unless you're available, I don't know what to tell you. Or like, are you available? Are they available? Are you both available? Because I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out, but it's this realization that's occurring. Scrying mirror and shadow. You guys are reflecting each other. You guys are reflecting each other in I don't know. This whole topic like exhausts me. It exhausts me. Cycles. So this is something that's been existing for quite some time. They go through these cycles where they're really, really fond of you. They really, really like you. And then cycles where they tell themselves to like, they don't like you. I don't know. This is like ugly. This is ugly. I don't know why you would want to waste your time on someone who can't decide things for themselves. I mean, I'm sure they're a good person. I'm sure they're an amazing person. But are you still a child? Are you still a child? One thing I've learned being married for like 20 years, over 20 years, I don't fucking know how long we've been. Yeah, I don't know. However long we've been together. It's over 20 years. Like, why would I waste my time on someone who needs me to first be the one to like reassure them. To reassure them before they can let me know how they're actually feeling. That's like childish. Like, you tell me first. Like, I have something to tell you, but you tell me first. What if I don't have anything to tell you? What if I don't have anything to tell you? And, we have to stop romanticizing their timidity, their lack of ability or willingness to be vulnerable with you. That's someone who's not emotionally available. And I don't know that we need to be the ones to parent them and coax that out of them. If you want a person who is an equal, they have to at least be willing to experience what you're experiencing, which is vulnerability. If they want you to first tell them that you like them, if they like you, just say it. Are they even available, though? Are they even available? Like, beyond being in a relationship, are they emotionally available? Are they? I think that's the main question. Because if they're in a relationship and they're trying to be also with you, if they're not emotionally available for the relationship they're already in, that's already established, that's a really good way to kind of gauge how it's going to go with you. I like you too. I like you too. Anyways, yeah, see, like, yeah, he likes me. Okay. Sir, stop interrupting the reading. You're so disruptive. He likes me. Okay, stop it. Get off the live. Okay. Awakening. Stop being disruptive. Where are you going? What? So, awakening, allowing yourself to wake up to the potentialities that you're looking for. If the person doesn't already have what you're looking for, which is a type of willingness for the depth you're seeking, you have to awaken to that reality. Okay? You have to really, really awaken to that reality. You made me blush. Yeah, no. And I want to give you guys a very real, very complete picture. We have a real marriage. We argue. We argue. Yes, we argue. That's real. It's raw. There's so much still we haven't tapped into, regardless of how long we've been together, how much we've developed each other by just being present and holding space. Most of us want a relationship that takes an entire lifetime to cultivate. We want it right in the beginning. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that. You have to build that. This concept that society teaches us of falling in love, knocking your socks off, and then you wonder why you have cold feet. You wonder why you hurt because you fell in love. I don't want to fall in love. I want to connect in love and grow through it together, building something amazing that will last your entire lives, to where even when times are tough, you still choose to work on it together. And that's the thing. People don't understand, like, you have to choose it. There's not some sort of magic formula where, oh, you're going to fall in love and he's just going to take care of you. But what about him? Are you willing to take care of him? Well, no, he's the man. Okay, well, then be a woman. You want him to play that gender role, you need to play your role too. If you're going to adhere to that very old, very outdated logic, then you need to stay home and cook some fucking food. You better clean the house and actually play house. Oh my God, Emmie. Why are you talking to us like, well, if you expect him to be the man and provide, then you need to give him something to provide to. You need to create the household. You need to hold it down. Oh, but no, I'm an independent woman. So why the fuck do you need a man to take care of you? Why are you looking for that? I was very clear in the beginning where it's like, no, I don't need gifts. I don't need this. I don't need that. I'm my own person. I can buy my own things. If I want something, I will work to earn it. No, you don't have to give me gifts. You don't have to this and that. And he chose to establish a type of dynamic with me where he provides. And in exchange for that providing for me, I provide in a different way. And as we've grown together, it took many, 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 many years, but that dynamic shifted. We're both equally strong. We're both equally capable of taking care of all of our children on our own. We're both equally capable of working and being the breadwinner on our own. How powerful is that? To be so different, yet to be equally strong, even in that difference. Just saying. Maybe your expectations of the person you're with is just unrealistic. And if your expectations from the get-go is unrealistic, you're never going to be satisfied or happy in a relationship. You just aren't. And if it's this concept of, well, Emmie, that's because he was already established. That's why it worked. No. He was unemployed when I met him. We met each other pretty young. He was unemployed. He was hanging out with his friends a lot. He had just finished getting whatever degree he got, computer stuff. I still don't know what the fuck he does. It's computer shit. And, I distinctly remember he was with me at my apartment several hours away, and he got a call to interview for a very amazing opportunity. And I still remember, because I had no furniture in the apartment, we was laying on the floor, and he said, no, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay with you. I'm like, I can't tell you to go to that interview, but you're not fucking staying here. You're not going to get the opportunities because I'm not going to be part of that bullshit. Nope. You got to go home. You can stay home and miss that interview, but you're not going to be here. I'm not going to be the reason why you're missing out on opportunities for yourself. Ain't that right, Daddy? I told him to go home. I said, you need to go home. You need to go home like several days before that interview. Like, you can't be here. And were your feelings hurt? I think he's like, are you serious? Uh-huh. Oh, I'm absolutely serious. You need to go home. He was like, damn. Like, nope. You're not going to use me as an excuse for any of that shit. Don't think so. I don't think so. Nope. You can come back and visit me several days after that interview is done. It's up to you if you're going to go or not. I can't tell you to go or not, but you're not staying here. Yeah, no, he started working. See, that's the thing. When we romanticize someone else trying to use you as this reason to not further themselves, nope. I'm like super younger than you, and I'm working full time. Like, nope. That's not how this shit's gonna be. Nope. You have to be equally as driven. You have to be equally as independent. Like, it has to be that way. It has to. It has to, because that's my minimum. Now, I wasn't asking him to start working to take care of me. I just want someone who is equally as independent as I am. Equally as independent. Okay? That's not something too much to ask for. It's just not. And I decided this as a teen, like, you got to be equally as independent, because I'm not trying to have none of that like toxic shit of like, no. I'm good. I'm good off that. Like, I'm not scared to be alone. And I think a lot of the things that happen with people, they're so afraid to be alone that they are willing to settle for things that are beneath their bare minimum. It is not too much to ask for someone you are interested in to be as focused and independent as you. They don't have to take care of you. That's an unrealistic expectation, expecting them to take care of you. But expecting them to be able to be independent. Okay? I know a lot of people who get so caught up in the romanticizing of taking care of the person they're with, and that creates a lot of resentment. It might take several years, but eventually it becomes this resentment. It's not okay. You have to establish healthy boundaries, healthy expectations that are realistic right from the start. Right from the start. That's not a bad thing. And it's not that you're setting these healthy, realistic expectations and there's no wiggle room. It's just a general expectation of you need to be as independent as I am. And, that means you're holding yourself accountable as well, not looking for someone to take care of you. What I learned by watching so many narcissistic pairings throughout my lifetime, not with me, but just in my vicinity. When you're with a narcissist and you become overly dependent on them for anything, they now control you. Whether you're dependent on them for financial assistance, or you're dependent on them to take care of the children because now you have to work full time, dependent on them for anything, they are now in control. That's a beautiful goal, Queen of Hearts. I want someone who is my equal and I can build with. Yes. 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 That's not an unreasonable request. That's not an unreasonable expectation. It's not. Because usually when you're at a point where you say, I want someone who is my equal, that means you've assessed where you are. You've allowed the hardships of your life to mold you into someone who is fortified. It's okay for you to recognize that you are fortified, that you have learned from previous decisions, not mistakes. I don't believe in mistakes. I believe every single decision you make in your life, whether it turns out the way you want or not, every single decision takes you a step forward to this point of realization and self-actualization, where you're finally living your truth. You are finally free from whatever that mental thing is that occurs where you feel like you have to live up to other people's expectations. The person who you see in front of you right now is not who people expect me to be. I had to give up so many aspects of myself, shed those layers to be the person I am now. I had to lose quite a few people. And as I lost them, as I shed, those were painful periods for me. Just because I don't chase after people doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Let's be clear with that, okay? Just because the Capricorn in me can be very logical, very like risk assessment, abatement, like, all right, we just cut you loose. That's, it's not working. So, all right, walk away. It's fine. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. But I would rather hurt as part of my self-healing than continuously hurt because you keep hurting me. That's a choice that's being made. That's a choice that's being made. It hurts me to have you around when I can see, based on your words and your actions, you don't value me. So let me hurt myself real bad just this one moment as I let you go so that I can finally begin healing. So long as that knife is still in your back, your body can't heal itself. Shrapnel, bullets, all of that, they have to remove that so that you can begin the process of healing. The only time they don't remove shrapnel is if, in the attempt to remove it, you will probably die. That's the only time they don't remove it. That's the only time. Have you ever had a splinter? I mean, that's such a smaller scale, but yeah, a splinter. Whew, that hurts. But by the time you remove it, it's like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Have you ever had a bee sting? Like that. You have to remove whatever continues to hurt you before you can actually heal through it. This concept that some people have of like, I'll just heal through it. I mean, I'm constantly exposed to it. They're constantly cutting me. But I mean, it's okay. I can heal through it. I'm strong enough. It's not about being strong enough. It's about being honest with yourself. Why are you there? Why do you continue to be available to that type of treatment? And it's not because you're weak. Weak people can't stay in bad situations, okay? That is not because you're weak. You need to begin considering and asking yourself, is it because there's this part of me that exists that feels like I have to punish myself? And this person is willing to punish me, so let me just keep staying. Oftentimes, that's what it is, where you feel like you have to punish yourself. This person is more than willing to treat you as poorly as you believe you deserve. And that's why you stay. Just be honest with yourself. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you weak. But when you begin to have these realizations that a lot of the things you suffer through first begin as internal thoughts of being less than, deserving less than, being unworthy, you'll begin to realize how much of you still needs to heal. It's a lot harder to heal in an environment that's toxic. It's not for me to tell you what environment to heal in. I'm just stating a reality. It's a lot harder to heal in an environment that's toxic. And maybe there's a part of you that believes you can heal in that toxic environment simply because you're afraid to still exit it. You're still afraid to exit it. And that's okay. One day you'll wake up and you're ready. And when you're ready, you don't have to converse with anyone about it. You don't have to like ask people's opinions. You make a decision and you go. That's a beautiful thing. I don't know if men do this too, because I'm not a man. But I know for women, I know for a fact, when a woman is done, she's done. There's no asking her girlfriends, asking her therapist, asking her mother. She's just gone. She's packing her shit and she's gone. And that's it. There's no I'm sorry. There's no let's go to therapy. There's no none of that. It's just like, I'm good. Yep. There's no none of that. So if you're still asking and considering, you're not yet at a point where it's time for you to go, but you have to at least know where you stand with them. You have to at least know where you stand, okay? So, manifestation, spell. I hope a motherfucker ain't casting spells on you to try and manifest you. That's not how manifestation works. Wish a motherfucker would. No, I don't wish a motherfucker would. I'm really sick and tired of people who fucking try and cast spells and shit. You don't want me to retaliate. You really, really don't. Just don't. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't. To date, I haven't retaliated. But, you know, there's definitely something to say about people who, men and women, okay, men and women, people who do things like that, who use magical means to try and secure what they believe they're entitled to. It's a sense of entitlement, like someone who feels they're entitled to your suffering. You feel you're entitled to witness me suffer? Why? Have you guys ever asked that when someone um goes out of their way because they want you to suffer? Have you guys ever asked yourself? I already picked cards, but I'm just mixing them up. Just, so we can be surprised together. Okay, card number 15, big bold vision. Allowing yourself to have this big, bold vision of where you want your life to go, the type of relationship you want. Remove the face, the identity, and just be open to how this is going to play out. Okay? Be open to how this will play out, who will be building this with you, and all of that. I mean, I look back at when I was this really young adult, and it's just this, it was this thing of like, I had this like concept of who I was going to end up with, who I would marry, who this and who that, and how my life would play out. And I mean, down to where like the color of the person's eyes, like the different textures within their iris. Like these were things that I was consistently seeing over and over and over and over. Hair color, hair texture, all of that. All of that. And I mean, could you imagine what I would have missed out on had I not allowed myself to be open to letting my life choose for me how it would play out and just being open to it? Because what I saw was not my husband. That's not what I saw. Like, that's so not what I saw at all. I would have missed out on something amazing. I would have really missed out on something amazing. I would have missed out on the love of my life. For real. Preferences are simply that, a preference. The reality of what you're living through, the reality of who your soul wants you to have interactions with, and the length and gravity of that interaction. It's really unknown to you until after you've lived through it. If you had asked me in the beginning of our relationship if we'd still be together over 20 years later, I'd be like, probably not. Probably not. Why? Well, I mean, 20 years is a long time. What if he changes? What if I change? What if he suddenly doesn't, want to be with me anymore? I mean, just being realistic, probably not. But do I know the absolute truth of how and when my life will this and that? No. No. And then I realized many, 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 many years later that probably not was me and my trauma response. Like, let me just always have one foot out just in case he decides to leave. Because everyone that says they love me eventually leaves, right? So was the issue like at some point he's going to choose not to love me? Or was I waiting for that? Was I waiting for this period where all of these fears of mine, whether I recognize them or not, they were going to come to fruition, and I was going to see, like, see, look, I told you, eventually everyone leaves. Eventually everyone leaves. And is that the truth? No. No. Mm-mm. It's not the truth. It's fear that I keep turning into my truth by continuing to allow trauma responses to sabotage the things that are worth the investment of my time, my energy, my love. Where do you stand with yourself? Are you nothing but a living trauma response? I'm learning for some people, and it's not a very large number of people, but for a very, very select few, I will fucking fight for you. I'm not going to let you go. I will fucking fight for you. Mm-hmm. I will say and do whatever it takes to make this work. And until you finally decided, like, you just really don't want this to work, I will keep going. I will keep fighting. I will keep making myself vulnerable and expressing to you how much I need you, how much I want you in my life. It's for a very select few, but they're worth it. They're worth that vulnerability. They're worth that potential of me being hurt to that degree if they actually choose to still leave. At least I know, though, I did everything I possibly could to let you know how much I love you. And again, not everyone is worthy of that. Right? Trauma bonds. If we've bonded because of trauma, yeah, I don't know. I don't know unless you both have the willingness and capacity to grow beyond just the trauma bonding and see that the definition of a trauma bond is staying in that same place of traumatic injury. So typically, trauma bonds fail when one becomes stabilized enough to grow and heal beyond that trauma, that shared trauma. The other one's not going to like that. They're going to continue to try and keep you in that holding pattern of trauma. I recognize a lot of the connections that I had with people over the years were trauma bonds. They were trauma bonds. And when I grew beyond the trauma, they grew beyond loving me. And they began to actually want to hurt me, consciously wanting, plotting, for my demise. And I mean, I'm not going to change who someone is. I'm not going to change who someone is. The fact is, they already had that within them. It wasn't something I did outside of me growing myself, empowering myself, not at the detriment of others. That was already within them. Right. It's okay to tell a person where you stand if you're healed. That's love when you tell them the truth. And sometimes you tell them just by letting them witness you in this place of healing, this place of peace. Have a big, bold vision of where you want your life to go and actually be willing to let go, not push out, not rip out, but just to open your hand and let go of whatever it is you're clinging so desperately to. It's like this visual of you just clinging, grasping this, like holding with bloody fingernails the edge of this cliff where you've already fallen over, and you're just so afraid. You don't want to let go. You don't want to let go. Oh my God, you're going to be destroyed and die if you let go. I'm over here at the bottom of the cliff like, motherfucker, you got wings. What the fuck are you doing? Let go. You know what I'm saying? Let go. Let go. Just let go. Just allow. Let go. I promise you'll fly. I promise. We all got wings. We do. We all got wings. And just because yours have atrophied from lack of use, lack of recognition, it doesn't mean you don't have it. Just because you feel like your legs don't work because you're so accustomed to cowering, you're so accustomed to hugging your own legs in a fetal position because life has got you feeling so afraid, does not mean your legs don't work. I'll tell you something very, very inspirational. When I came back to California to take over my mom's care, so her left leg, they said that it was completely paralyzed. It's just, from her stroke. And I'm over here like, did she have another stroke after I left? No. Well, motherfuckers, when I left, she was able to stand on her own and take several steps forward. Don't fucking tell me that that nerve is dead. She's never going to use that leg again. Everyone was insisting, like, no, that it's paralyzed. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here with that shit. Unless she had another stroke that actually killed it. No, it's not paralyzed. And I worked with her and I worked with her and I worked with her. And I would whisper in her ear. She wanted to move with me to Colorado. I'm like, if you want to go with me to Colorado, start moving that leg. Start moving that leg. Think about it. Think about it. When I'm moving it for you, think about it. Pretend it's you moving it. Really believe it's you moving it. You want to come with me? How bad you want it? How bad you want it? You know what happened? She had a physical therapist who would come to the house, like, I would say twice a week. And, in the first month, she was impressed. The physical therapist was impressed because my mom's body, which had wasted away, and she was literally like a skeleton, could not bend her legs at all. Her knees could not bend at all. She dropped foot, just a whole bunch of really fucked up shit. After a month, my mom could bend her legs. She was no longer having drop foot. She was getting back her muscle mass. Physical therapist was very impressed. And I was like, hey, do you think that we could really work on rebuilding her ability to use her left leg? Physical therapist like, well, it's a long shot. It's a long shot. I haven't sensed any, muscle firing in that leg. So, I want to support your efforts, but I got to be honest with you. We can try. That's what she said. We can try. And after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, she assessed my mom's leg. She was on the left side of the bed. I was on the right side, and I was just looking at her. And she was so shocked. Her mouth opened. She's like, what have you been doing? I was like, well, brain to muscle connection. I've been like encouraging her, and we've been working on it every day. And she's like, her muscle is firing up. And I was like, oh, so does that mean that it's not paralyzed? She said it means it carries a potentiality of being used again. Yep. Yep. Wherever you force a connection, you can forge a new one. That I didn't do any energy work on her. I didn't do a single bit of energy work on her. I taught her how to work on herself, though. I taught her how to work on herself. I allowed her to use me as a conduit. I would hold her left hand, and I would put my other hand on her thigh. And I would tell her, send charge through me to your leg. And it would spasm. It would spasm. And I'm like, if you could do it through me, you could do it through you. Less effort. After like maybe 2 months, her physical therapist told me she'll be able to use this leg again. You might need to put a brace so that way, it could help support it a little bit. She'll be able to use this leg again. Everyone said it was paralyzed. It's not fucking paralyzed. It just hasn't been used. Convince her, cripple herself. It's not paralyzed. Have you allowed the people in your life to convince you that you're paralyzed? They confined her to a bed. She couldn't bend her hips, even like a 30-degree angle, or whatever this larger degree was. Like a. She couldn't bend her hips or her knees at all, or her ankles. And that was fucking painful to rehab. Oh, trust me, it was so painful for her to rehab it. And every single time she would yell out, like, it hurts. Mom, how bad do you want it? And she would cuss me out. And I'd be like, get mad, put it in the leg. Cuss me out, put it in the leg. And I would tell her, like, you mad? You sick of my shit? Kick me. And she goes, I'm going to kick you. I was like, but you got to use this leg. Kick me with this leg. I'll let you kick me. You can kick my face. Kick me in the chest. I'll let you kick me. But you got to use this leg. And that's what drove her. That's what really, really drove her. Her anger at allowing herself to believe that she's crippled. Within a few months, we were able to achieve so much. So much. So much so that she was able to sit in a wheelchair upright. She hadn't been able to do that in so long. She hadn't been able to sit up in a chair or on the couch for something like a year and a half. And in a few short months, she was sitting up. She was in a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. They said she couldn't do that. She'd never be able to do that. And I said, fuck you. Let her show you. Fuck you. And what did I do for her? Encourage her rebelliousness. She's a nurse. When the doctor says something, she complies. She believes it. Mm-hmm. Yep. She believes it. And you know what I used to whisper to her? They're idiots. You know this. You worked with them. They're fucking idiots. And she would get angry at me. Why? Because I don't comply. So what's so angering about that? Because she wanted to be as free as I am. And so I would tell her, you don't got to listen to anybody. You do what you do. You want to lay in bed? You want to be in pain? No matter what, you're going to be in pain. It hurts not to move. It hurts to move. At least when you move, it hurts less when you move. And you'll be able to move. You'll be able to sit. And she had this goal. She'd look out the window at the house where we were at that time, and it was a big hill right across the street from us. And she would say that she's going to plant some yams, all kind of shit on that hill. And I would tell her, like, you need the city's permission to do that. And she goes, no, I don't. And I said, well, then I'm not doing that shit for you. That's a fucking hill. I don't know what you think this is. I'm not going to grow your own plantation out there. I'm your daughter, not your fucking worker. And she'd get mad. I'd be like, you want to, I'll help you. I'm not going to be out there planting shit for you. You better start bending your legs. The only way I'm going to help you plant shit on that hill is if you walk across the street. You better start doing all of this. And there were quite a few times where we were doing physical therapy, me and her, and it was painful. To stretch ligaments that have shortened is fucking painful. And I would have her yelling different types of fruits and veggies she's going to plant on that hill. Yep. Yep. Her range of motion, everything improved. Why? Because she felt safe being as rebellious as I am. You might not have someone who encourages your rebelliousness in your life. And if they don't, You know where you stand with them. If someone tells you that you're too much being who you are, you know where you stand with them. Michael says, if someone is so intimidated by you, I think this is an excuse. Okay, I think it's a freaking excuse. But he says, if there is someone in your life who is so intimidated because they've placed you on a pedestal and you're just that valuable to them, to the degree that they can't speak to you, they lack the courage to speak to you, you know where you stand with them. That sometimes you don't have to be told. Sometimes you just already know. Card number 13, power of attraction. Yeah. Okay. This is someone who probably sees the gravity now of who and what you are, the different potentiality that you, you know, yeah. This is someone who really is beginning to understand the gravity of what I guess they walked away from. You can have your own logic in regards to how you're going to address this. People are different. Some people who realize they walked away from something good, they didn't do anything intentionally hurtful, harmful. They just had a trauma response and took off. Other people who walked away from something good, first they had to sabotage it and stab you. Do you have it in you to allow someone who stabbed you when you weren't looking back into your life? I mean, for me personally, if it was just a breakdown in communication and like so the distance because lack of communication and you didn't actively do anything intentionally malicious to me, I don't know. I don't know if I guess if my soul says, then yeah. But if you stab me first, if you cut me before you left because you could, because I wasn't watching, because you knew I wouldn't do anything to you, fuck you. Keep watching from across the street behind the woods. Fuck you. You're not fucking allowed back in my life, you scroungy ass motherfucking scrub. Fuck you. I don't give a shit if you're hurting. I don't give a shit if you're sorry. You had it in you to do that to me the first time. You'll do it again. And now you know more of me. And you know I won't do anything back to you. Fuck you. Stay out of my life. A scrub is a guy that. I'm just saying. I wish the best for you, but you're never going to be part of my life again. Thank you for showing me who you really are. And that's that. That's that. So when I say, be open to communication, that's for people who are not malignant and malicious. If you guys separated because breakdown in communication, maybe feelings were hurt, maybe misunderstandings, whatever it is, and okay, that's fine. Just, they didn't actually try and hurt you. Maybe they said something mean because it was their trauma response. Just see what you need to experience with them. Maybe it's just one more conversation. Maybe you just needed some type of closure or whatever, like an explanation from them, directly from them, why things went the way they did. If they've never intentionally hurt you like that, okay, that's one thing. But if they stole from you, they physically harmed you, fuck those bitches. Fuck those bitches. I'm just saying, órale pues, putitos. I'm just saying, órale pues. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitán. Just saying. Don't make the Spanish come out of me, motherfuckers. I'm just saying, fuck that shit. I don't give a shit how sorry you are. You already showed me who you are. You're malignant. Fuck off. Fuck off. Just saying. Makes the Spanish come out of me. What the fuck's wrong with you? I'm just okay. Put the Spanish back in. Push the Spanish back down. Don't make me pull out my conquistador blood. I'm just saying. Don't make me pull out my conquistador blood. Okay, let me just stop. I just made myself really hot. Hold on. I'm just saying, okay? Mhm. I'm just saying. Don't make me pull more shit out my Spanish bag. Okay. Card number 5. Follow your own rhythm. Follow your own rhythm. Like, it's okay for you to turn away from things, turn towards things. Just know what you're turning towards and what you're turning away from. Okay? Make very conscious. Ooh! Chee-hoo! Okay, we brought it all the way to Hawaii and back. Let's follow your own rhythm. Okay. Mahalo. Aloha mahalo. Okay, card number 35. Conscious connections. So this is going back to what I just said. Like, make sure it's a conscious decision to consciously connect. Know what you are connecting with. Know what you are disconnecting from. It's okay for you to identify something and someone as toxic and to respond appropriately. Okay? Diving for light, going very, very deep within yourself to find the truth of what this experience is. Oftentimes, as we experience things, we don't exactly know what we're experiencing. We just experience things and we become reactive. And then, we then wonder what the fuck just happened. Well, a lot of shit just happened. A lot of shit just happened. And it's time for you to really be cognitive of what happened. Learn from it. Maybe not while you're going through it, because oftentimes when a Piscean or an empath goes through something, they're not in the process of learning. They're in the process of merely surviving. That's okay. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you a survivor. But is it enough to simply survive? Aren't you worthy, deserving, entitled to a life of thriving? Maybe you're selling yourself short by simply trying to survive. Maybe, maybe you need to allow yourself permission to do more than just survive. Maybe you need to allow yourself to begin the process of thriving. And as part of that thriving, you have to cut away the dead roots. One of the things that I loved so much about orchids, because I'm like a total orchid whore. I'm just saying. I'm a total orchid whore. Crystal and orchid whore. I mean, like, for real. You want into my life? Give me a crystal or an orchid. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. No, don't do any of that. Anyways, but orchids, what do I love about them? Well, first, they're pretty fucking low maintenance. They're pretty low maintenance. You don't have to water them all the time. You just leave them alone. Don't let them sit in water. Leave them alone. Just let them do their thing. They don't even really need much sunlight. Just let them do their thing. They're beautiful. Beautiful. And one of the things that I learned about caring for orchids, there are times when you need to repot them. Certain times of the year after they've grown so much, probably become root bound. You have to go through this process of repotting them, right? And part of this involves cutting off the roots that have died so that the rot doesn't poison the whole plant. The parts of you that have atrophied, those need to be let go of. Those need to be let go of. Do you keep yours outside? When I was wintering in Colorado, mine was thriving. It actually, it didn't just send up another flower spike. It actually began to flower. Yeah. Orchids, any particular color? No. Really, any plant? Like literally any plant? I love monsteras. Oh my god. I love vines. I just I love green stuff, you know? I love green stuff. I love being able to allow my energy to nurture something outside of me. I can always tell when I haven't given myself enough love, my plants begin to suffer. And just like with the plants, it's totally this thing of like, I don't need water all the time. I'm kind of better off when you just leave me be, and every once in a while water me. It's just one of those things. I can relate to plants so much. You have to know the level of acidity, like the pH balance for what you're going to fertilize me with. Knowing that, kind of just need to do my thing. And I'm someone like, if you go to a grocery store, sometimes they sell plants, right? Not just the cut ones, but actual potted plants. And the plants that no one wants, they're like, they start wilting and whatever. They're plants, potted plants, living plants. They get put to the side and get put on clearance. I adopt those. I adopt them and I bring them back to life. I'm totally the person where when I feel like the world won't accept you as you are, I'll come along and I'll love on you and I'll show you the beauty of who you are. I don't care if it's wilted. I see beauty still within you. It's trapped in the roots, and I'll encourage it to be visible above ground. And that's how I am with people as well. And it's this thing of like knowing when you can do something and knowing when it's too far gone. And then you just love on it until it's completely gone. And that's just how I see myself and my role in other people's lives. It's like, it doesn't matter where I stand with you. I can garden from any angle. And it's not that it's my job to save you from yourself. It's that I have to honor who I am, and who I am is a lover. At the heart of everything, I might have attitude, I might get salty, but at the end of the day, I'm nothing but a lover and a giver. So this whole thing is not about me trying to change myself into something that I'm not. I'm not a hateful person. I'm not malicious. I'm not malignant. I'm a lover, a giver, a nurturer. I'm an eternal mama bear. And this whole journey is about recognizing where I stand within myself. It is okay for me to be these things. It's not okay for me to continue to be these things for people who are incapable or unwilling of receiving the kind of love that I give with no expectation for return. And instead of seeing this as like a weakness, I see it as like my superpower. Like, I can love you and give to you and not expect anything in return. And you can walk away. It's, thank you for allowing me to express who I am at my core with you, even temporarily. And may you have an amazing life in my absence. And that's it. Does the gardener expect the plant to have loyalty to it, to them? Does the gardener get upset when the plant matures and spreads its seeds everywhere? Like, how dare you spread yours? No. The gardener tends to the garden because it's what the gardener loves. It makes the gardener feel whole. It makes the gardener feel as though their life has purpose. And maybe that's what we need to focus on. Who knows? Focus on the light. All plants need some type of light: indirect light, direct light, all day light, partial light, low light. I mean, you have to know what you need. And a lot of what's going on is someone is recognizing you were the light in their life. You are making them perk up and feel alive, and finally their leaves were not drooping. And you know, that's okay. That's okay, because all of these farms that grow the orchids, they don't hold on to them. They don't hold on to them. Mm. I was watching a video last night. I forget the name of the channel. I fucking love this old man. Oh my god, I love it so much. Hold on, let me find it. You guys need to know this channel name. Heron's Bonsai. Bonsai from No Hopers. I love this old man. That's this guy. This old man. I love hearing him talk. And he owns his own, I guess, bonsai farm or garden or nursery or whatever it is. And last night I was watching one of his videos, and he was talking about sometimes people ask him why he doesn't work on all of the bonsai. And he's like, well, because it's not my job, basically, to perfect it. It's my job to lightly train the plants and allow you the freedom to perfect that design based on your own preferences, your own taste. And that's such a beautiful thing. Like, for him to be able to, like, not control everything to that degree, knowing that people have sovereignty, and in that sovereign right to choose, there is such a diversity of what you prefer, different options. Be that type of gardener, the kind that's not trying to make an end product of people, but instead doing your part as they are still with you. I'm going to start a bonsai. Bonsai. I don't know why I say it like. I'm going to start a bonsai. I'm not going to buy a bonsai. I'm going to go ahead and get one of those mini Christmas trees. Make one, make one, make one, make one. Yeah, I think I got to go today. I got to start. I have to figure out what type of tree it is. I have to, like, there's so much research that has to go into it. I'm excited. I'm excited. I have to look for the Nabaru. And then I have to get like all sorts of different. Yes! I'm excited. Fuck yes. Card number 32, faith in the process. Maybe you're your own bonsai. So I was talking to someone the other day, and they were telling me how like they really resonated with something I said at the very end of the live stream several days back, that, you know, are you the maple tree? Do you serve as a maple tree for people where they continue to injure you to harvest the sweetness? And those injuries are never actually fatal. They're not. It's just enough to cause you to bleed, and then they harvest the sweetness from you. And they really resonated with that. And when we were talking, it felt like it needed to be taken a step further, because Japanese maple are oftentimes used for bonsai. Are you going to be nothing like the North American variety of maple that's just, you know, allowed to grow really large and constantly etched into so that we could harvest, someone can harvest your sweetness? Or you can also choose to be a bonsai where there's beauty in you being able to control the way the branch bends, cultivating yourself to that degree. I mean, bonsai are expensive. They're expensive. They're expensive. The level of cultivation that goes into it, knowing that when you cut certain parts of it, like depending on the variety that you're using for your bonsai, if you cut certain parts of it, it will encourage the growth to go more in towards the interior. It'll create a fullness. If we use the analogy of bonsai. If your goal is to grow very tall, you're probably going to have a very lanky trunk. But that leads to different styles. One where you're more bendy, taller, but have more bends to you. There's a grace to that. Or do you want to be short and stout? But here's the beautiful thing about bonsai. This is a thing that got me so enraptured by it. The goal of that bonsai design is to make sure that no branch competes with another branch for the sunlight. Every aspect of you should be in the light. Every aspect of you should be allowed to shine, should be allowed to be fed. How fucking beautiful is that? To be able to celebrate every part of you, even the dead wood, that the parts of you that have died, that no longer produce, that can be a beautiful aspect of you. It shows your maturity. Maybe if we live life in a way that's more analogous to bonsai, we'll understand. And you can't start a bonsai and expect, just like with North American cultures, like immediate gratification. Some of these trees that man, like he was doing this tree, right? It looked like a little sapling. He goes, clearly this is a very old tree. I'm like, what? He goes, if you look at this Nabaru, it like clearly this is not freshly planted cuttings. And he goes on to say it's 8 years old. What? What? Yeah. 8 years old. Years. Allowing yourself to have the type of freedom to cultivate your growth over years, not months, not weeks, not days. Knowing that you go through your seasons. Like, wow, I want to be a little bonsai. I do. I want to cultivate myself in such a way where, all the bends, all the parts of my trunk that are exposed, knowing the parts of me that energy no longer flows to because that's an old aspect of myself that's no longer applicable, appropriate to the life I'm cultivating, that I can celebrate that. There's beauty to it. Whoo, ooh, damn, there's beauty to it. It's not just about being the biggest. It's about the beauty of my symmetry or intentional asymmetry. It's about all of my branches having equal exposure to the light. Knowing that I don't need all these extra leaves just to be fuller than everyone else, but that I can cut parts of me back without risk of me dying. That my life in the hands of Creator can be bent and shaped, and I won't die because of that. The last video that I watched this morning, he was bending something, and he's like, "Oh, it's too stiff." I mean, knowing me, I just force it. I would kill the plant. And he's like, it's too stiff, but he wanted to bend it a certain way, and so he's like, I'm going to split the trunk in this area so that he could bend it. And then he wired it. He had split the trunk. He had wired it, and he was trying to bend it. He goes, see right there? It's gaping wide open, so we can't do that. Let's bend it the other way. He already had a preconceived notion of how he wanted to design this plant. But when he saw that it would be detrimental, he said, no, you have to flow with it. Let's bend it the other way. See, that's also acceptable. That also gives a beautiful line. That lends to a beautiful line. And that's why I love watching him, because it's like this thing of teaching me how to cultivate myself. You can't force me to go into any direction. You have to allow me to tell you, to show you. And when he was bending shit, I heard something snap. He goes, see, that was a partial snap. That's not at risk. It's still okay. We can bend it a little more. Because I heard it, I was like, oh shit. And he wasn't tripping. He was not tripping. He's like, that's just a partial snap. It's going to be okay. That branch is not at risk. It's still salvageable. Ooh. Mm-hmm. How beautiful is that? At no point does he say, oh shit, I made a mistake. He says, okay, no, we can't do it that way. Let's go the other way. Where do you stand with yourself? Do you feel like you need to have this huge place of rooting yourself? Maybe another thing we have to kind of explore with a bonsai is that their roots are not allowed to go deep. Their taproot is cut. Excuse me. Instead, their roots are encouraged to expand outward. Outward. And some would say, like, well, if the roots don't go deep, which I've been saying, well, won't the tree fall? But when you trust in creation, creator, in your higher self to anchor you into this tiny little pot, you're at no risk of falling. None. You're held in place by the wire of actual life. You are held in place. It's okay for you to focus your growth in expansion versus depth. And just because bonsai expand horizontally, it does not negate the beauty and the need for untapped into plant, tree, shrub, whatever it is, to grow deep roots. You can be the northern maple. You can also be a Japanese maple bonsai. You can be whatever you choose to be. And you can change your mind too. You can change your mind. You can go through these seasons where you recognize depth is not what you crave, depth is not what you need. With where you stand, you need expansion. You need to be able to explore your boundaries. And then a season can change and you can recognize this season, I need depth. I need to go really deep within myself. It's no longer about expanding out and seeing where I stand with other people. It's about recognizing how deep I can go and how high I can go. You are such a dynamic energy that you cannot and should not limit yourself. You're not just one plant in one planter. You're the entire garden. The entire garden. The entire garden. And you are also your own gardener. And if you think like, well, I can't be because I don't know what to do, every gardener starts somewhere. So what does that mean? Are you going to teach us? No, I'm telling you, start. Learn about yourself. I cannot teach you something I do not know. And if I do not know you, how can I teach you about you? For those people who come on my channel like, oh, you talk too much about yourself, because that's what I know. And oh my God, the amount of knowledge that comes from me knowing myself. And if you don't understand that, it's not my problem. It's really not. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. It's okay for you guys to recognize other people's issues with you are not your problem. When people come here expecting me to not talk about myself at all and show me the cards, like, bitch, buy your own. You want to see cards? Buy your own. Pull the cards for yourself. Right. Ocean Lover. The name of the channel is Emmie Evolving. And y'all can gurgle my crystal ball sack if you think I'm going to cater like that, because I'm not. This is simply about me sharing what I'm learning about myself in my life and allowing you to decide for yourself. Allowing you to decide for yourself. What do you want to do with this information? How does this apply to your specific, very, very unique situation? Like, really, don't come here expecting me to tell you how to live your life. I don't want to be your next religion. I don't want you to be a member of a cult. I want you to be sovereign and free, just like I am. Trusting in my ability to create the kind of life that I need, regardless of what I think I need or not. Knowing everything that happens in my life is something I need to know. I need to experience so I can know. See, and the beautiful thing about me talking about me is that in many ways, I am you. Just a more uncovered, truthful version of you. The version of you you're working the courage to step into. That's the only difference. I'm not better. I've just gone through the process slightly before you so that I can help you by just sharing of me and allowing you to witness. Ooh, how powerful is that? How powerful is that? I used to be afraid of live streaming simply because I didn't know where I stood with people. I felt like I needed to know everything. And if I didn't memorize everything and know everything about every single topic, my fear was this like, oh, please, please, please don't let someone come on the live stream that knows more than me and ask me a question that I can't answer because I don't want to look stupid. And then I realized, oh my God, that is so stupid that I'm expecting this of myself. This is so fucking unrealistic and ridiculous. If I don't know the answer, just be honest, girlfriend. Say, oh, you know what? I don't know. Oh, I've never heard of that. What is that? Hello? Hello? Is someone home? Yeah, now someone is home. Now someone is. I don't need to know everything. I'm not your personal Google. I'm not your DuckDuckGo. I'm not any other browser. It's your job to learn for yourself. It's not my job to be a teacher in the traditional sense of giving you information to memorize. I think the better term that I can give myself versus a teacher, because I don't identify as a teacher, will probably be a sifu. A sifu shows you the techniques and expects of you to learn how to apply the techniques, shows you the proper forms, you don't injure yourself, but then tasks you to perfect that form. It's fucking beautiful. That's beautiful. Empowering you to that degree. That's beautiful. Come to life. Allow yourself to shock yourself with this new life that you're building for yourself. It's okay for you to enter into a second infancy where you feel like you're lost, you feel like you don't know, you feel like you are just like at the mercy of the people in your life. Allow yourself. Children learn who they can trust in childhood. They learn by witnessing you. They learn. They learn the types of energies that are safe. I'm like literally like just eternal mama. I'm just like an eternal mother. Even before I had kids, I love kids. It's just fucking ridiculous. Probably because I'm obnoxious. Kids love me too. They love me too. They're my people. They're my people. When I go to grocery stores, even till now, like with my agoraphobia, even till now, when kids see me like babies in shopping carts, they lean over like, what's up? I went to a grocery store recently and this woman who was in the same aisle as me, she kept looking over because the baby in her shopping cart, like baby, I want to say maybe 7 months old, kept looking over at me and she was wondering if I was doing something. And I was intentionally not looking at them. Intentionally not looking. I was just like, agoraphobia. I don't know. I don't want to talk to people. And then what happened? She ignored me. Finally ignored me and figured, her baby is just curious. And then her baby called to me, at which point I looked over and the baby just a smile on their face. I went like that and I turned back around. They know. They know the energy. And as I was walking past them to leave the aisle, I looked at the baby head on, like, and then the mom looked at me She's like, oh my God. He's never reacted like this to people. I walked away, didn't say a word. They know the energy. They know the energy. They know who's safe and who's not. So allow yourself to enter into this second childhood knowing it's your second childhood. You still have this adult aspect of yourself that can discern. Can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? Oh my God. Did the Wi-Fi go out? Daddy? Okay, yeah, see me. Yes, you do still have an adult portion of you that's fully capable of defending this part of you that's entering into the second infancy. Okay? Okay. The word wants to be written. Maybe you should take time today to go ahead and write down on a piece of paper 3 things that you want to happen by December. Let's do this together. Write down on a piece of paper 3 things that you want to happen by December. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me. 3 things. 3. I don't know why it was hilarious to me. 3 things. 3 things that you guys want to happen by December, okay? Write that down. And this might sound crazy. It might sound crazy, but I promise you, this is not crazy. Write it down on a small piece of paper, lick the paper, fold it up or roll it up, and burn it. Burn it. Then let me know how it goes. From now until December, let me know how it goes. Fold it twice if you're going to fold it. Once. Fold it twice. Okay? See how it goes. You have to lick it first, though. You got to lick claim it. If you do that, let me know how it goes. I'm very, very curious how many of you will actually put your energy into this. When you lick it, you're putting your genetics on it. When you lick it, you're putting your genetics on it. And if you truly believe it, if you really, really want it and you truly believe it, you can manifest it like that. Only good things. So what ends up happening if you write something on there that involves the harm or deprivation of someone else, that's what's going to happen to you. Your genetics are on there. Okay? Your genetics are on there. Only positive things. I cannot emphasize this enough. For those of you who think like you can write malicious things about someone and write it on the paper and do this, it's going to happen to you and it needs to happen to you. Yes, I'm saying this. It needs to happen to you so that you can understand what the fuck you're trying to do to other people. That's what you get. Remember, I'm the mom. I say that kind of shit. That's what you fucking get. You need to learn. So only good things that you want to achieve. You're going to have to still do the work to achieve these things. You're still going to have to do the work. But this is an amazing opportunity for you to see how you can manifest. Amazing opportunity. So do that today. It's important you do it today. It doesn't have to be any big ceremony or anything like that. It's important for you to do it today because guess what? We're still in that Arcturian portal period. And that Arcturian portal period is going to help you to heal the parts of you that refuse to allow goodness to re-enter. Hey, Ricky. Hey, you. Ricky. Okay. Sorry. My goodness. So that's my saltwater cousin over there. Okay, let me stop. Card number 17 was already with you. These potentialities are already with you. But if you don't want to tap into it, I mean, you don't have to. No one's forcing you to succeed. No one's forcing you to succeed. If you want to really commit yourself to failure, to disappointment, you're absolutely free to do that as well. You are free to decide for yourself. You really are free to decide for yourself. It's time for you to surrender into the changes that are occurring for your growth. It's time. You're going through an awakening and you need to trust. Trust yourself and be gentle in that process. Be gentle with yourself. Trust is not about forcing. Trust is not about like, I have to do this. Emmie said I have to do this because if not, then I've failed. I've chosen failure. No, Emmie didn't say that. You did. Emmie didn't say that. You did. No, I'm talking about decisions, cognitive choices that you are making. Okay. If you want to choose to commit to disappointing yourself by continuing the same patterns that have disappointed you thus far, that's okay. Maybe you're not ready to explode onto the scene of like balance, alignment, and success. Like Kevin Hart said, she wasn't ready. All my electronics are screwed. I swear to God. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just irritated with I think I synced everything and then like everything's ding ding. Phone goes off, everything goes off. I don't even get most of the fucking notifications on the phone. I don't know when someone's message or because I don't know. And then some things go to my old phone and I don't know. I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm frustrated. Card number 21, growth. Allowing yourself to just grow. Just grow. Pull your energy back in, grow. Sometimes we give so much of our energy away simply because we're afraid how that energy, if we keep it for ourselves, how it will grow us. Where do you stand with yourself? Do you stand in equal footing with the people you love? Like, are you nurturing yourself and investing in yourself as much as you are in people you love? Because most of us aren't. Most of us are freely giving to other people, keeping nothing for ourselves. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of just so freely giving and leaving nothing for myself and then wondering why I'm so depleted and why, okay. So I have someone that was editing something for me. It's a little project that I'm working on, and this person was editing something for me, and they gave me the file to make sure that it was being edited in the way that I need. And I looked at myself and I was like, fuck, can you edit my face? Fuck. And they're like, you look fine. And I'm like, well, thank you, but for my standards, no, I don't. And like we could adjust colors and stuff. No, it's not the colors, it's the bag under my eyes. Both eyes had such pronounced bags. And it's this thing of it's unacceptable for me to see myself in that way, not because I think I'm ugly, not because I think I look old, but because I see that version of my face, and immediately I recognize I haven't been taking care of myself. I haven't been sleeping enough. I haven't been eating proper nutrition. I've been not loving on myself. That's not fucking okay with me. How can I sit here day in and day out for hours at a time and get on your asses about loving yourself and caring for yourself, and I'm showing up uncared for by me? That's fucking hypocrisy at its finest, most nuanced bullshit. And that's what upset me. That's what upset me. holding myself accountable. I'm holding myself accountable. So yesterday, yes, I was quite late for the live stream. I took a fat ass fucking nap. Last night, I slept quite a bit. After this, I'm gonna sleep some more. After I buy my new bonsai. I'm gonna first go to the store and buy a little baby plant and bonsai the shit out of it. And then I'm gonna sleep. And then I'm gonna go live again later tonight. No, I'm not overworked. My priorities just shifted. See that there? Do you really call it work if it's something you do for free? If it's you just being who you are, it's not work. It's living. It's purpose. It's me. But am I allowing balance in my life? Am I taking care of myself in my process of being me? Where do I stand with myself? And that little snippet of this like larger project that's being worked on, I was just like, no, I deserve to show up for myself as well. I need to take care of myself. I need to get enough rest. I need to be a living embodiment of the words that I say, the encouragement that I give. I need to do that for myself too. So again, it wasn't anything about the aesthetics of looking old or not being pretty enough. It's about me seeing physical proof. Girl, what the fuck? You're not taking care of yourself again. And that's so hard for someone who's a giver, someone who's like a mama bear for the world. Because if you're a mom, you fucking know. Like, you just give everything to the kids all the time. It's not a bad thing. It's the way we love. It's who we are. I want, you know, when one of my kids, it's kind of gross, but at the same time, it was like so fucking sweet. When one of my kids was like a baby, less than a year old enough to eat solid food, but less than a year old, right? So he was in the baby carrier, the baby wrap. I used to use a tribal one, a Moby wrap. And so he's like right here on me, right? And I was eating something. This little mofo, he shoved his entire fist into my mouth, got the food, and started eating it. I was like, oh, okay. Do you like it? Partially chewed, just like the animal kingdom. He literally shoved his little fist into my mouth, and he did it so fast. And he just took the food literally out of my mouth, and he started eating it. And I was like, oh, oh, is it yummy? You like it? You want some? Yeah. Yeah. That's how mothers are sometimes. That's the depth at which a mother will give. Yeah, just like the animal kingdom. I'm telling you, he's like a little baby bird. Chirp, chirp. He just partially regurgitated. Like, damn. Straight out my mouth. Like, you could have just asked. I would have given you like a not chewed one. You got to allow yourself. Yes, preparation H definitely works, but not used. It has to be brand new. I used to use that for for photo shoots for models. If they didn't get enough rest, no, I did not put preparation H on my face. It's a vasoconstrictor. So it helps to push all the swelling, just like how it does for hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids are a swollen part of your anus. So when you put that, it helps to constrict the vessels and push the thing back into your system to be reabsorbed. So that's a nice little hack. But what's even better is to actually be healthy. Push like that. If when you push, there's still a dent, that means you're holding water. That means you probably need to do the lymphatic drainage, like pushing, like, and pushing it all the way down and down your throat, down your throat. This is what I do. It's gua sha. Gua sha. Witch hazel does not do the same. Not to the degree that preparation H does. It does. It has to be cream, not the ointment. You're gonna hate the ointment. The cream will absorb. The ointment will sit on there. And if you're gonna try to apply makeup over that, it's not gonna be cute. And I wouldn't do that all the time because then it creates issues. I wouldn't do that all the time. So card number 21, growth. And then we have card number 47, soul separation. Soul separation. This is about this process that you went through that separated you from the very things that you needed to still interact with. I'm wondering if that person, whoever that person is having the issues they're having because this is something that was not yet complete. It was not yet done. And it was abruptly interrupted and halted because of other people's interference. Now, I'm not talking on the romantic aspects of things. Y'all know I don't like romantic readings. Y'all can fuck up on your own. I'm just saying. When we start dabbling in the romantic readings and stuff, that really presents a huge gaping hole of potential fuckery. That's why I don't like romantic readings. Y'all can do that shit on your own. This is about self-growth, accountability of the self and others, about introspection, and really just understanding the process that you're in. Okay. All of my readings are about understanding where you're at with your life, the different potentialities that maybe you hadn't noticed because you were so fixated on other aspects that maybe don't need your attention so much. Ooh, parasitic. See what I'm saying? That separation was parasitic. It was parasitic interference. There was something that interfered. I want to say it's two people with the same objective. Two people with the same objective. And here's the thing, let me just be blunt. If this is a soul-based connection that needed to occur, the two people who interfered with that, this is going to continue. It's going to continue. It's going to continue until there's a rectification of this. But it's two people saying the same things with the same objective. And the two of you being blind to the interference. And there's this right here too. It's an egg. Easter egg. I'm assuming whoever this is going to find that Easter egg. And when they open it, they're going to realize what type of fuckery was happening without their understanding, and that they were manipulated. They were absolutely, what the fuck is that? There. They were manipulated, and, you know, they probably would have made different decisions had they not been manipulated. I'm assuming this is someone they trust. This is someone they thought had their back. Not everyone that loves you has your back. Some people love you for who you can be in their eyes, the way in which they can control you and mold you. It boosts their ego. Sometimes people love you because of the potentiality they can draw from you. Are you that maple? That North American maple that you just got to etch it a little bit and it will give you that maple syrup. Who knows? Receiving sigil, progression sigil. You're receiving, I heard education. I was going to say guidance. Education, hands-on education. You're entering into a clinical. If you've ever taken medical courses or a medical program, nursing program, whatever type of program where you have to physically handle someone's body, you usually have like a lecture hall, and then you have a clinical. The clinicals are where you can apply hands-on what you learned in lecture hall. the concepts, techniques. That's where you apply it. You're entering into a lecture hall. You're entering into a clinical. You've been in a lecture hall for long enough. You have to allow yourself to receive so that you can progress. But you also have to allow yourself to rejuvenate. Be rejuvenated. Allow yourself. Just allow yourself. So card number 14, natural endings. Some things just naturally have to end. I don't know what's going to end. It's either your connection with a person or the cycle they're in where they're afraid to reconnect, even temporarily, just so whatever can be hashed out. I don't know. Kind of like a field study. Wait, no, hold on. Let me look at the technicality of a field study. Okay. So, field research is defined as a qualitative method of data collection that aims to observe, interact, and understand people while they're in their natural. No, not like a field study. Field studies are research activities that take place in the user's context rather than in your office or lab. So, it's not like a field study because you're not actually going into their environment. This is more an effort on your end to cultivate an environment. So it would still be something that's like in your lab. You know what I mean? I that's probably too technical. I'm sorry. I guess yeah, like a field study. If you know, it's kind of just like you going into. I think I just confused everyone. For me, it's not a field study because you're creating your own environment from which to safely learn the concepts you're working on. So it's that step before the field study. Yeah. All right. Let us see. One more shuffle. One more shuffle. Ooh. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, you didn't confuse me. I confused myself and everyone else as well. Card number 42, Dance of the Divine Feminine. If a tree could move from one place to another, it would not suffer the pain of the saw or the oppressive wounds. If the sun and the moon stood like the rocks, they could not offer brilliance. How bitter the taste of water would be if the river stopped its flow, remaining still like seawater. When the seawater rises to become a cloud, it loses its bitterness and pours the rain of sweetness. I have given you only a few examples. You can figure out the rest. Break away from the self and enter the kingdom of love. How can your feet bear to be still when the music is so lush and inviting? How can you hold yourself back from the tide of love when the horizon looms so vast and exciting? How can you not arch your back and respond with ecstasy to the lover's touch, saying in absolute submission, yes, more? You are made to move and grow, to love and flow. Even mountains change. Surrender the stodgy ways of the mind and become willing to dance to the great orchestrations of love. You may feel unsettled, beloved, as though the ground beneath you is not so solid. You may touch to see it. You may touch it to see. Is it moving? Of course, it's hurtling through the skies, spinning, tilted on its axis. It's amazing you aren't passed out on the floor in utter dizziness. Yet you stand there, imagining you have a choice of not moving. What funny foolishness. Let us laugh about it together. How can you even imagine it? Only through some misplaced fear. It's such a small craziness, really. You can cast it off, that small crazy fear. Let it return to the Earth Mother to become a fertilizer for the far grander and more exciting insanity of divine love instead. Give up that tiny insanity in favor of the greater craziness of love. You cannot be unmoved by it. The rhythm of life will get you shaking your hips eventually. How could you not become entranced by the gleaming dance floor, sharing with possibility and invitation? This oracle comes to you with guidance. Your life may feel as though it's being tipped upside down. Perhaps you feel as though the great beloved, in a feisty mood, has grabbed your ankles, is holding you upside down and shaking you wildly until your skirt is over your head, or the pockets of your pants become freed of their contents, keys and wallet dropping to the floor in disarray. Your hair is messy, your bottom is in the air, and your sense of orientation is nowhere to be found. Blood is rushing to your head, and goodness knows you just want to be put down to have a moment to come to your senses. So the beloved will give you that gift. But don't imagine it will last for too long. The great beloved esteems you capable of so much more than being sure-footed and sensible. You are capable of more whirling and stumbling while inspired by the music of the spheres. If you just accept the great invitation to dance, there won't be so much roughhousing going on. It won't be needed because your hair will already be in a mess. Your blood will already be pumping and you'll be sweating, laughing, smiling, and dancing. The great beloved will be alive in you, which is all that grand seducer ever wanted in the first place, even with all the jokes and the horseplay. Disarrayed and disheveled by the great beloved, you're able to break out of a too ordinary world. You will explore the delightful consequences of rocked boats and upset apple carts, being swept away by love as you dare to dream bolder and wilder dreams for yourself and the world. There is bigger magic for you to weave this lifetime. Prosaic priorities inherited from the world are stuff and nonsense. It is the priority of the heart that matter to you. You are ever to right yourself while the beloved is tipping you upside down. Like a soaring bird in most impressive aerial dynamics, it will be through establishing right priorities, the priorities of your own heart. So ask yourself what matters most and attend to that. Soon you'll be able to find your orientation, even if everything you have once held on to appears to be shimmering and insubstantial, a mere dance of light rather than solid ground. This will become so easy for you because your orientation will flow from within, from the heart. And no matter what shifts and changes takes place around you, your center will remain strong. This is what the beloved wants for you. Such peace and relief it shall bring to you, but perhaps some shaking about is required first in case you're reluctant to give up some mainstays, unaware of how much they drain life away from your heart center. This oracle brings you this message also. There is something you are holding on to, a person, a place, a thing, a belief, a vision, and you need to let it go because it wants to grow. It may grow and change into something utterly different, or it may grow into exactly what you were imagining. Whichever outcome, growth is happening and you'll find you enjoy the way much more with greater flow and support and less bashing of your head against a proverbial brick wall. Less bashing of your head against a proverbial brick wall if you can let it happen. Don't worry if it seems as though your world is coming to an end or you're losing something you once loved. This is just the shaking about of the great beloved to lead you into a deeper, sweeter dance of divine being and becoming. Put your focus into your heart and realize you are more ready than you think. Now shake those hips, stamp those feet, close your eyes and clap your hands. There, that's better already. Allowing yourself to dance to the heart song of your life. The heart song of your life. I wrote something the other day. Let me find it. Okay. I'm drawn to the type of poetry that speaks the language my heart sings. I'm drawn to the type of poetry that speaks the language my heart sings. Wow. Allow yourself to be drawn to the bare basics of what you need. And if you're not multilingual in regards to love, in regards to life, not just in the literal sense, then you have to honor what that need is. You have to. You just have to. So here's the thing. I once knew someone a long time ago. I once knew someone that, really inspired me because of the fact that they went to a foreign country, a country that does not speak the language they know. And they went there not knowing the language, with a full expectation of this experience helping them to learn it. Ooh, that's fucking powerful. That's powerful. That's inspirational. Being able to go somewhere with no fear, knowing you'll stick out like a sore thumb, knowing that you don't fluently speak the language, that fearlessness, that's inspirational. That is seriously inspirational. It's something that tells me this person in their process of becoming, in their process of evolving, is willing to let go of everything they know to become what they know they can be. It comes with it this implication of a knowing of self, a recognition of potentialities, of what you're capable of, and having no fear of how this plays out. I don't know if they ever did learn that language, or if they went and continued the journey as they had planned. I don't know. We lost touch as they were in the middle of the start of that process. But it was beautiful nonetheless. Like, did I need to see or know how that plays out to be inspired by the understanding of what that situation is? Do you need that reassurance of how things will turn out before you can allow yourself to apply this thing that's inspirational to your own life? And honestly, I want to say that knowing of them, this person immersing themselves in a very foreign environment, wow. I was like, I wonder. Michael says, you already know. Yeah, no. Like, witnessing someone outside of me doing that in real life is quite possibly, probably is, the very thing that gave me the courage to immerse myself in an online environment that was extremely foreign to me. It was foreign to me. It was scary to me. It presented such a challenge. Why? Because I know I don't think or communicate the way other people do. I speak a different language. I have a different logic. I'm immersed in different soil. And I wasn't sure how people would react. And did I need to know in advance how people would receive me or how they would reject me or the thing? No. I needed to just live it. And seeing someone actually immerse themselves in a completely foreign land, whew, I'm like, oh, you're a ballsy one, aren't you? You're a little ballsy one, aren't you not? Yeah. You fucking went somewhere you don't speak the language? Oh, you are ballsy. But see, now I know that, USD. I know that. I know that. And how long did I have to be publicly visible for me to know that? Even though it was apparent, even though it was clear, right from the start, the people who witnessed me opened their arms and let me into their heart space. It was me that needed the years of this over and over and over to understand, like, oh, okay. Oh, there are some people who, when they say they love me, they like actually do. It's not a pity thing. It's not oh, I feel sorry for this weird ass little girl. Because I used to believe that. I used to genuinely be rooted in this place within myself where if you compliment me, automatically I choose to believe, well, you probably compliment everyone, or you probably feel sorry for me for some reason and felt like you had to say something sweet to me to kind of make me feel better about the fact that, I'm fucking weird or something. Right. Nothing is wrong with that, especially after going through so much. And I had to go through so much to understand that there was nothing wrong with it. There was nothing wrong with that. There was nothing wrong with me honoring the time that my process organically takes. It is extremely hard for me to trust people. It's extremely hard. And I thought there was something wrong with that. 1 year, end of 2017, beginning of 2018, this is like one of the few things that I actually, my hair is fucking crazy. My hair is fucking crazy. This is one of the things that I will never forget this year as it played out. I'll never forget it. October of 2017. How profound is a life lesson if you know exactly what month of what year? October 2017. I got pushed to another end of the spectrum. One where it's like, I don't want to connect with anyone. I don't want to meet anyone in person. I don't want anyone outside of my immediate family, my husband and my children, to be a part of my life in any way, shape, or form. Because someone did some really horrible things to me. And as soon as I left that, just by chance, I ended up connecting with 2 other people who ended up becoming such a huge part of my life and my family. They still are. And I use that as a way to shame myself. Like, look, you said everyone was evil. Everyone's going to use you because that person, and then these people, and like, Emmie, you're the problem. You're the problem. It's you. You are the common denominator in these things. You're the issue. Look at these people. They're so good to you. They don't want anything from you. They just want you to succeed and have a peaceful life and feel loved and be supported. Like, you're the problem, Emmie. It's your traumas. Your traumas are what's causing this. October 2017. That's when this started. And because I convinced myself of that, I then opened the doorway to reconnect with someone who I had walked away from the year before, basically. Because when I walked away from that person the year before, I walked away with no drama. My soul was just like, step away. And so I did. And when I stepped away, they freaked out. And I was like, whoa, why the fuck are you freaking out like that? And, it's just one of those things. I walked away and I felt like, well, that person really loved you, Emmie. They really loved you and you were such a huge part of their life. Like, reconnect there. Reestablish a good connection with them. Little did I know that logic would kickstart the fucking vicious 18-month period. There was no problem with my trust issues. It wasn't a trust issue. It was a recognition that no one deserves to be blindly trusted. They have to earn that. And so for that 18 months, that person that I was like, oh, they loved you. You were totally like a mom to them. Reconnect with them. I reconnected with that person. And because I reconnected with that person, I also reconnected with another person who was like, my husband had called him like my soul's BFF. And then, it was this thing of like, I got to trust everyone. And those people, not the 2 that I, helped me to see like, it's not this blanket statement of no one can be trusted or this and that. It is not those two people. Everything after those two. It was everything after those two. Oh, it took months to find out, but these motherfuckers had been fucking plotting for fucking months, having these fucking meetings. People I didn't even fucking know, plotting, all focused on their hatred of me for fucking what? What did I do? Not a goddamn fucking thing. All these people fucking knew each other. All of them. They all fucking knew each other. And they had been plotting for months. And I let that shit in. Because I convinced myself I had trust issues. I'm the problem there. I'm not the fucking problem. And from those specific people, they then branched off and formed other groups of multiple people to fucking attack me, to degrade me, to fucking find more people who would blindly trust that I'm a horrible person, that I'm fucking evil, that I'm demonic, that I feed off people. Like, fuck all you weak ass bitches. I never let myself get mad about shit. I never let myself get mad about it. I was just like, well, some people are the way they are. I never let myself get mad about it. Yeah. The issue was not me having a trust issue. The issue was that I have a fucking accurate as fuck precognitive ability, hypersensitivity to bullshit, and intuition. That was the issue. I kept telling myself. And after those people who I reconnected with at first, come around December time of 2017, the fact that I still fucking remember these dates. Y'all who know me, no, I don't remember shit. But the fact that I still remember these fucking dates. I knew exactly where I was. I knew exactly what campground I was at and exactly which live stream where it oh shit. I know what's going on here. I know what's going on here. I've given them the opportunity to strategically position. It was a tactical thing they did. Very tactical in their operations. And from that point forward, that group attacked me, and so I splintered off, and I felt fractionated, and I felt vulnerable. And so the fucking person that one pretended to be my friend, and I knew that they weren't my friend. I knew this shit. I knew that they heard these people. It's a common denominator for these people. And they had been observing me, and they knew the reach that I have on social media. They use those people as a way in to further their business. I knew this shit. They already had an established audience, but nothing to the extent that I was already developing for myself naturally just by being publicly visible. Two of them. Not only did I allow myself to be used, I had such a self-loathing that I encouraged it. I empowered it, encouraged it, went out of my way to present it. This is the opportunity you can have. Go ahead. And I needed to go through all of that to understand everything about me works perfectly. When I feel like I have to stay away from you, that's for a fucking reason. I'm not going to tell myself to stop being mean. It's not mean, it's logical. I don't feel right around you, I'm not going to be around you. That's that. Is that me saying you're a bad person? No, it's me saying I don't feel right around you, so I'm not going to be around you. Do I have to explain that to you? Not a damn thing has to be explained. I have a right to feel however I feel. It doesn't mean I think you're a bad person. It doesn't mean I'm trying to wish you harm. It doesn't mean I want you to not have good things happen to you. It means I need to not be a fucking part of your life. Yeah. Yes. That's what that means. That's what that means. There's someone I know that's kind of, going through this same type of thing that I went through years ago. They're going through it now, where because they're associated with someone who, I guess, in the industry that they're in, it's not spiritual industry, but they're associated with someone, excuse me, who is ridiculously talented and is developing, a broad audience, and they're associated with that. They do work together, and that person had a falling out with a couple other people, and that falling out with a couple other people has to do with those couple other people screwing that person. It's a business deal. They screwed that person, so all those people are now like, oh, we can't deal with that person because there's actually this person, and and I was telling that person, like, they're doing you a favor. Those are the people, the ones that are no longer taking your calls, they're ignoring you because you still have an association with this person who stood up for themselves. Those people are doing you over because they fuck you too. They fuck you over too. It seems like opportunities have been taken away, momentarily. That's what it kind of seems like. But it doesn't mean that it has. It doesn't. It doesn't. Let the rot fall away from the tree. Leave it where it is. Let it decompose and add to your soil. There is richness in the decay. Use this as the impetus for your growth. I'll give you guys a little something, and people who know, they know. So I was watching this video on orchids. How do you encourage accelerated root growth if your orchid is like sick, it's almost dying, it's almost dead, it's in the process of dying? How do you turn that back around? You use black tea bags. So you steep black tea, make sure the water's not too hot, and then you kind of immerse the orchid's roots in this. You let it just soak in it, I think like for 24 hours. And it's going to be this thing of like extreme periods, polarized periods of extreme wet, and then 24 hours just completely exposed to the air, extreme dry. And you alternate. And the guy's talking about how tannin stimulates growth. And for those who know, you know. And if you don't, that's okay. But tannin stimulates growth. When the plant is overwatered with that tannin soaked in it, it's almost like a sense of drowning. This huge uptake of fluids helps to replenish the plant in some way, and that tannin helps to encourage accelerated growth, accelerated division. There was this tannin in my life that accelerated the division, which then accelerated my growth. Ooh, if you know, you know. If you don't, you're not missing out on nothing. Mm-hmm. Allow every event in your life, allow every exposure to tannin to be the very thing that serves as the impetus for accelerated growth. Yeah. It was the very people who tried their hardest to get me to question my reality as I know it to be, which is the definition of gaslighting. They attempted to get me to question my reality by publicly attacking me, by privately seeking out people who don't even know me and saying all these things about me. They were the very thing that I needed at that time, because the way I grow is through rebelliousness. Give me something to fucking rebel against, and I'll show you the beautiful ways in which I grow without your permission, without your authority. I don't give a fuck what you think you're authorized in. Unless I give you that authority, it doesn't mean shit to me. Because someone authorized you to attack me, you think you can? Fuck you. Unless I give you the authority, no shit is happening, baby boo. And I'm not giving you that authority. I'm done with that stage of my growth. I'm not willing to give that away no more. I'm not willing to give that away no more. And at that period, from October 2017 all the way through to 2019, slightly beyond 2019, because that's how long it took me to fucking learn this shit. I no longer think there's anything wrong with me. I don't have trust issues. I have a knowing. When that knowing gets triggered, I should not trust you. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. Does that make me a mean person? If you think so, what you think of me really doesn't fucking matter to me. All I need to know is I don't trust you. And if I don't trust you, you need to go out of your fucking way for multiple years to prove to me through your actions and your presence how fucking wrong I was. You don't get to tell me when that testing period is done. It could take me 5 years for all I fucking care. You don't like that? Go to someone else. I'm okay being alone. I mean, what's so bad about that? When you're so desperate to have people around to validate your existence, that's when you allow parasitic shit in. That's when you allow toxic people into your life who brings more toxicity, who creates toxic environments. Every single time I convince myself that alone on my own, I'm not enough to ascend this mountain called my life, that's when the other climbers tried to push me down, push me off my own fucking mountain in their attempt to reach the top before me. It's my fucking mountain. I finally realized after how many years, this journey that I'm on is a solo journey. Solo. I reached the apex of my mountain on my own, in my own time, on my own terms, using my own equipment, my being everything that I've learned from my life, these lessons. Life's lessons. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to understand. There's no deadline for you to learn. Where do you stand with yourself? Do you even stand with yourself? Sometimes the people who are in our lives and the people who we think these readings are for, they're nothing but a projection, an external projection of our internal circumstance. We always want to make things super clear and super easy to understand, but sometimes it's so simple. We choose to make it much more complex than it actually is. You think this reading is about twin flames? That's up to you. But isn't your twin your mirror? So maybe their issue is a reflection of your own. They're afraid to come forward. They're afraid to talk to you. When was the last time you talked to yourself? And I don't mean berate yourself. I don't mean tear yourself down. I mean talk to yourself, communicate. When was the last time soul and self held symposium? Symposium. Symposium, a conference or meeting to discuss a particular subject, a collection of essays or papers on a particular subject by a number of contributors, a drinking party or convivial discussion, especially as held in ancient Greece after a banquet. When was the last time you sipped from your cup of truth as you spoke with your soul? The alignment that needs to occur is between self and soul. It's between self and soul. No other external factors need be considered. No other invitations need be sent. It's between self and soul. And everything within your life is nothing but an external projection of an internal circumstance. That's saying whatever stands before you and irritates you is showing you something within yourself. Let me make it more profound. It's an external projection of something either you're still working on within yourself or something you've already resolved but have not yet looked back at to reconsider. I used to wonder, because I'm really reactive towards people who are as holish, as holish people, assholes. I don't like them. I'm very reactive to them. And someone trying to be a dick was like, well, whatever's in front of you and pissing you off is a reflection of something within. And I had to pause for a second and consider, is it because I'm an asshole? Oh my God. No, it's not. It's because at one point in my life I'm no longer there. And I'm being provided an external stimulation to remember them, to trigger me back to the place where I used to be, so that I can remember why it's important to not return there. Boom, bitches. It's not because I'm an asshole. It's because I've transcended that very limited place of existence and logic and behavioral patterns. And I'm being provided a gift by my soul of remembrance. So no, you don't get to use spiritual concepts in a tactical manner. You will not destroy me. All you can do is help me understand there's some introspection that's needed right now. Is that still my behavior? No, it's not. It can be when I choose to. But is that who I am, where I am? No, it's not. No, it's not. I am you, you are me. No, I was you. And you need to be more like me. If you want to have this symposium between souls, you have to be in alignment. I no longer have to be this overgiver where I have to descend my place of growth. I have to go down in order for us to relate. No, join me up here. You can see better. The view is much nicer. You can see more clearly the lessons that you've learned and where you're headed. I will not join you there. If I've already left, my heart need not return. Yes, it is my obligation to myself and my soul to protect my heart from returning to places of toxicity. I must preserve my heart's function. I must. That's the very part of me that circulates the lessons and the knowing. I must protect my heart. People won't give you permission for that. Fucking do it anyways. Do it anyways. Long gone are the days of you needing people's permission to exist and learn and grow. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. The whole virtue signaling shit, fuck that. I don't give a shit what you've done. If I can love you in a way where I don't give a shit the negative things you've done, I don't give a shit if you've done the things that society tells you need to do to be a good person. I don't give a shit about that either. You're not going to tell me what to give a shit about. That's the beauty about sovereignty. No one gets to tell you what's important to you. No one gets to tell you how to live, just like you don't get to tell other people. Own your life and every detail of it. Own your lessons, sift through those lessons, really truly learn. Don't just memorize. Learn the concepts to the degree that you can apply that to your life. And that's all your soul wants from you. Everything you go through, it's not punishment. Just like the child who keeps failing the lesson in class and needs to keep doing the homework, needs to go to after school tutoring, needs to go to summer school, thinking they're being punished. If you just fucking pay attention, you wouldn't have to keep repeating the lesson. That's it. You know, one of my kids, because we've homeschooled their whole lives. One of my kids was totally like, I don't understand this. And I explained it to them. We did the worksheet together. And then, like, oh, I think I kind of get it. Okay, let's do more. I can do more? Yeah. Until you feel comfortable, let's do more. But I already did the first worksheet. Okay, do you need to do more? Do you feel like you really know it? No. So let's do more. You're not upset? Why would I be upset? We're learning this together. If you didn't still need to learn, we wouldn't still be doing. Let's do more. It's good to learn. It's good to become comfortable with what you've learned. Not just to memorize, but how to apply it. How to apply it to everyday life. And maybe that's why you keep repeating the lessons that you thought you've already learned. And just like my kids, they get frustrated. There's times they get frustrated. They get frustrated because, why can't I learn this? Because you're not giving yourself the time and the space to. You're so busy condemning yourself for not knowing something you don't know that you're not fully present when I'm helping you. You're not here to know everything. You're here to learn. You're here to explore. You're here to really expand your understanding of what it is you've become aware that you don't know. What is so bad about that? What is so like derogatory about knowing where you stand within your journey, within your lessons? When you let other people tell you, like I've had so many people over the years criticize me about my homeschooling. Hell, I even had one of my kids as pediatricians tell me that I'm not serving my children's growth very well, because at a year old, he was asking her to delve into the world of dust mites and how it affects asthma. She was like a year old. And she looks at me and she's like, because we were waiting for her, right? We were waiting for us to come into the room for his 1 year appointment or something like that. I don't know, one of those appointments, well, baby check. And he's asking me about the picture of the dust mites. And I'm like, well, I think that's a dust mite. And that's probably information regarding how dust mites aggravate asthma. He wanted to know more. I told him, I don't know more, because that was before the time of smartphones. And I said, once your doctor comes in, we'll ask her. And so we did. And she looked up at the picture and she's like, you're teaching him that? And I'm like, well, no, he saw the picture and he wanted to know. And I told him, I think it's a dust mite, but we're going to ask you so that I can give him the proper information. She goes, oh, because he saw the picture. I said, well, he read it. He reads? Yeah. Yes. Or maybe he was almost 2 years old. He reads. And she's like, well, what's he going to learn in preschool? What? You have to stop teaching him so much, Mommy. He's going to be so bored in preschool. Are you fucking kidding me? What? I have to stop teaching him so much because he's going to be bored in Preschool? What? His doctor, pediatrician. One that has a 5-star review from all their patients. Amazing pediatrician. I don't know if that advice is really good, though. It's okay for him to not know things and ask me questions, and I support him in his process of learning. We're not housing. I'm not forcing him to regurgitate information. I'm not forcing him to memorize information. I'm encouraging him to be more of who he is. And if he's inquisitive, he's allowed to ask me as many fucking questions the entire day. And when I get tired of explaining things, I can communicate in a very mature manner. Honey, mommy's tired right now. Can we ask questions later? It's okay for me to not know the answers and let my child know that. You know, mommy doesn't really know. Maybe we can ask someone later. Right now, I'm tired. Communicating your needs, learning with every experience. Like yesterday, one of my younger kids was like, Mommy, when you're completely done with all of your work stuff and like all of the chores and everything are done, do you think that you can make me some boba? And I didn't hear the first part. All I heard was mommy boba. And I was like, oh, honey, you know what? Can you give me a moment? Because I'm like in the middle of something. He goes, Mommy, I said after you're done with all your work stuff and your chores and stuff. You're still doing something right now, Mommy. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear the first part. He goes, I know, because you're busy doing something. I was like, okay, let me finish this up. I wasn't fully paying attention. I'm very sorry. I was like, it's okay. You're so funny, Mom. You know, he's just like, I knew you were doing something, woman. Learning boundaries. Learning to communicate. They know if I'm working, I'm working. I have to focus on what I'm working on. He also knows, as my son, your needs are important to me. I have many conversations with him about, do you need me to be more present? Am I working too much? Do you feel like I'm not spending enough time with you? I do have to work, but I want to also make sure you don't feel like you're disregarded because you're one of the most important things in my life. It's okay for you to feel like, you know what? I got to let my mom know she's working a little too much. I need her to be present more. And every time I say that to him, he tells me, no, it's fine. I'm okay. I know you're busy. It's okay. And oh my God, the other day he says to me, because like, oh, you know what? I got to go live stream. And he says to me, Mommy, you've been live streaming too much. How are you going to know your kids if you're never around, even though you're in the same house? Do you feel ignored? So I don't feel ignored, but you've been so busy. All right, I'm not live streaming. That message can wait. Are you sure? I'm absolutely sure. What do you want to watch on TV? You want to play a game? What do you want to do? Just cuddle with me? He fucking let me know. He let me know. And that's all I needed. All I needed was to know where I stand with him. He's feeling like he's disappearing from my life. Okay? Family time. Movie night, whatever you guys want to do. There's no need to send any more messages. And you know, one of these things is he became almost like sad. Like, what about the people who are waiting? They can wait. Just like you have to wait, they can wait. It's okay. They didn't even know I was going to live stream. It's okay. Are you sure? I'm absolutely sure. I'm absolutely sure. Communication is key. Communication within yourself, with your inner child, communication externally with your family. Whew. Speaking of children, my son told me that in Narnia, wolves eat children. They do. They were like, they eat children. They were hunting the daughters and sons of Eve in Narnia. They were hunting them. Well, here's the thing though. Human children, the daughters of Eve, and the cubs of wolves, they're completely different species. They're completely different species. Do the wolves eat their own children? No, they will defend them. Which can't always be said for human parents. Years ago, I went through this process within myself of like, I'm a wolf. I identify as a wolf. I am a wolf. And people would consistently be like, oh my God, you're such a fucking lioness. Oh my God, you were just a fucking lion of truth. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be a lioness. They have no loyalty. When another interloping lion dethrones their king of their jungle, they let that motherfucker kill all the cubs. Fuck lioness. I'm a wolf. I'm a fucking wolf. Because I had seen this meme of one wolf standing and another wolf kind of in a lower position in front of him, like at the throat area. And there was this whole like thing of like, this is the female wolf looking like she's scared, but in reality, she's protecting her alpha male and protecting all of his like vulnerable places. That was such bullshit. I had to look deeper into it. Because people kept saying like, no, you're totally a lioness. And I was like, wolves have so much loyalty. Like, look at this meme. If you dig enough, you'll see the truth of any given image or logic. That was not a female wolf protecting her alpha. The wolves were all playing and the people were observing and they took the picture. Fucking A. Fucking A. The people who literally were the ones who took the picture explained, no, that's not part of wolf behavior. They don't do that. They don't do that. That's not even what the picture was. All the wolves were playing. They were in an enclosure. All the wolves were playing. And it just so happened one stood in front of the other. And yeah, there was no protecting the alpha and no. And that totally fucked up my perception of who I am. And that was beautiful. You know why? Because then I realized it's okay for me to be myself. I don't have to be a wolf. I don't have to be a lioness. I don't have to be anything outside of who I actually am, which is someone who embodies the type of familial loyalty that wolves have. Someone who also possesses this incredible strength and just fucking badassery like a lioness. I'm a scaled down version of creator. I am the everything, the nothing, and the spaces in between. It's okay for me to be a totality. I don't have to identify as a species that it's not even mine. I just have to know the way I'm created, the way my logic functions, the way my perception affects my place within my world. All of that is for perfect design. I'm designed perfectly. I don't know what I'm designed to do yet, but as I continue to live and grow, I will learn the answers to the questions inside my mind and my heart. Who am I? What am I here for? I'm defining my perception of that with every event that I live. Where do I stand with myself? Well, maybe I need to understand that I'm not standing, I'm actually flying. Or maybe I'm swimming. Maybe I'm sitting. All of that is valid. All of that is valid. Where I stand with myself, that means I need to have solid ground. Where I fly with myself, that means I have the freedom to explore the air. Where I swim with myself, that's another element of me that I can explore. We are only as limited as our human brains tell us to be. What are you listening to? Your heart, your mind, your soul, or another overgrown, hairless fucking monkey that we call a human being? We're mammals. We're animals. As much as you want to think you're so evolved, you're mammalian. We are not separate from that family tree of mammalia. We like to think we're so far removed from creation and nature and the wilderness and animals, like, oh, we're so evolved. Animals don't pollute their environment. Are you really evolved? Are you? Or are you just believing what someone told you? Man has dominion over nothing else. And this concept that we're taught of, like, oh, man is the steward of the earth. When you can't even cultivate the space within your thoughts, within your logic, within your personal space, whatever made you think you could cultivate the world? Isn't that kind of like putting the cart before the horse? A lot of our logic is backwards. We have no idea where we are, who we are, what we're doing. Yet we like to claim these places of power and elevation and tell others what to do. I don't know more than you. All I know is I've lived through certain things, and I can share of the things I lived through and the way it's affected my perception. And I cannot task you with doing what I say to do with what I share. I am no better than you. And that's that. That's where I stand. As an equal to you, shoulder to shoulder, walking forward as I explore, encouraging you to walk forward right along with me. And that's that. That's that. So let go of any of your preconceived notions of how to live, who to be, all of these different things that create more shame, more perception of failure, more perception of this and that. You know, just because you perceive it doesn't mean it's factual, doesn't mean it's true. I'll leave you guys with one last thing. So in September-ish, October-ish time of 2017, I came across a woman who I ended up sharing in real life space with for several weeks. And it ended up becoming something that was a really horrible experience. And I attributed it to the fact that she is a Scorpio. Okay. She's a Scorpio. And when I left that situation, I ended up connecting with a husband and wife. And I remember one day I was talking so much shit about Scorpios. Fucking hate Scorpios and yada, yada, yada. You know, putting them all in the same container. And I don't remember her saying anything. She didn't correct me. She didn't say anything. And then later on, I realized, oh my fucking God, this woman who I fucking adore, who is giving me the courage and holding the space for me to heal myself and correct my perceptions and rebalance myself. Oh my God, she's a Scorpio. Such an opposing polarity to the Scorpio I left. That other woman that I left behind, completely different people. Both Scorpio. Both Scorpio. People are who they are, and who they are unique to themselves. Your experience with one person does not automatically transfer over to another. It just doesn't. And I've learned over the past couple of years, we really can't. We can't do that. I can't do that. There's polarities to everything. There are polarities to everything. Everyone is a unique expression of their own perception of their truth. Whether that's an authentic truth or not, I don't know. But when you're curious, when you feel a connection, explore that. And when you've explored enough to decide, like, you know what? I don't want to explore anymore. I'm not really liking this. Then don't. Through the years, that Scorpio woman has shown me so much love. Help me to better understand, like, I cannot just lump people into categories. And then I think about it further, like my aunt, who was basically a second mother to me, who fucking loved me so viciously. Like, you don't get to say no kind of shit about me in her presence. She does not give a shit what I did. She's just like, nope, that's my baby boo. She's a fucking Scorpio. Did not realize that. My most favorite aunt in the world, who I knew would defend me to the bitter fucking end. Scorpio. My oldest niece, who she's like girlfriend. She my girlfriend. Scorpio. Just because someone hurts us does not mean they represent the totality of that group. Whether it's a zodiac sign, whether it's a region, a culture, a color, it really does not matter. Don't allow the toxic people to represent the entirety of the whole. Just don't. Don't. Let people represent only themselves. You don't represent anything beyond who you are in this moment as a solo individual. If who you are right now is something that you don't like, that you don't feel proud to be, that you don't feel like you can publicly love, shift. Not because you're not good enough in this moment, but because you deserve to experience a different polarity of this. You deserve to be whole. That's the only reason. You deserve to be whole. You just do. That's what you deserve. Wholeness, love, in all your seasons and phases. That's what you deserve. Okay? So I'm going to go live today at 3:30 p.m. 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Arcturian Tea Party. Sorry about yesterday for those who joined. I had a total brain fart and I didn't load an Arcturian party. So today, when I go live at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's all Arcturian services. These are services I have never publicly offered. I've been capable of doing these things. I have done some of these things in private sessions, but I've never actually offered them publicly. So they're actually loaded this time. You know, I told you guys yesterday, I'm Michael's favorite because I'm the one that needs the most protection from myself. I will see you guys again later today. I won't be doing an auction today. I'm focusing strictly on energy work. And with that, I'll probably be doing an auction sometime this coming week. If you guys are interested in joining me for the etheric workshop, I'm going to have to change the date. There's just some fluctuations in energy that I'm feeling like it needs to be pushed back a little bit. So it's more in alignment and harmonious with the energies of what's going on in the world. Okay. I like to be very mindful of that as I teach people stuff. So I'll make another announcement for that. If you're interested in the etheric defense workshop, you want more information, go to the website. I still need to update it in regards to dates. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. Thank you for always holding such a beautiful, healing, empowering, nurturing space where I can just be myself, share of my thoughts, and you guys are just so gracious all the time. You guys are just so good to me. And it's not for me to try and figure out like what I did to deserve that kind of just love.
it's for me to just kind of make sure I allow myself to receive it. So thank you guys.